Hi and welcome to Lay of All Aces, where you can learn nonsense to useful things that you can apply on your daily lives. And today we have a very interesting topic that is related to my previous videos, and it's one of the question. It's a question that was made by one of my friends, one of my subbies, and I think it will be better off if we're not going to lead this video based on the question per se. I'm not going to mention about the question, but I'm going to elaborate it further in relation to my previous videos. So these are like based on a little research that I did, and in combination with my experiences and how I uh, relate or translate what I have experienced based on what I could interpret from from those scenarios. So previous days we were able to discuss about um, what a friend is, or how you would describe on how I would describe, in my opinion, about what a true friend is, and how would you say if a person is selfish. Now, in relation to those previous videos, how could we value a friendship if, let's say, there was just an incident, or I could say probably like a test of friendship happened between two persons, and um, there was an argument. So you won't be able to um, justify that that person will be dealing with the argument same as how you deal with it. So probably unexpectedly you would experience that this person that you have entrusted um, your secrets per se, or things that you consider that are not known to others, would probably used against you, and things that you have mistakenly decided to, or mistakenly have done to, is always being brought up whenever you're having an argument. It's not, I think it's not only applicable for relationship, for friendship per se, but I think for all types of relationships. Now, in all types of relationships, you cannot say that there's always a pair that is on the same side. That's why you're having an argument, in my opinion, because you don't agree onto something. Now, the argument becomes an issue if you cannot resolve it onto um, a certain resolution. So, how does it happen, or how would you value a relationship if you feel like you're being betrayed? In my opinion, I could say that because you have entrusted something that is not for public consumption, probably, or not for um, public topic about you, and you have entrusted that to this person. Hence, it's leading to something that is firing back at you. So my idea with that would probably what I have remembered about the Johari window, and I actually made an example of a window so we could actually visualize. So I'm not using the graphic from the computer because I know that my kids are going to be watching this, so I wanted you guys to see how your mommy would make an example on how to interpret or how to express your ideas. So we're going to be an old school here, and I'm going to use different colors. So I made a small window here representing Johari's window. Okay. All right. Now, Johari window, if I could recall back in college, it's a process or a technique. And probably it's not only for a group, but it's a technique on self realization. It helps a person better understand how they are with a certain relationship, with themselves, and with others. And mainly from the name of Johari, it is this process or this technique has been developed by two psychologists, namely Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. So that's why it's called Johari. So on your personality, there's a certain stage where these four portions of windows, according to them, would be equal. Like if we were on toddler years, a certain portion of the window will be small because our personality has not developed yet, and the certain windows would be bigger than the others. And as we grow and as we mature, if we could say it that way, um, we should have the ability to balance our personality by mainly understanding what are the things that we have to prioritize in developing and things that are lesser important but still important in developing our personality. Now, on each window, we have areas. So number one is the open area. The open area means that it is the personality that other people sees from us. This is one thing that is also known to us, and this is probably the title or the role that we play that we are comfortable with, because this is the known area of our personality. Let's say, like me, I'm a nurse, so my personality shows that in our company we have the SN1 and SN2. So having the title of SN1, you get the responsibility to be the charge. So in any time soon you'll have the on and off duty of being the charge, and sometimes you'll be on bedside. So that is the known role that I know others are also aware of. Next is, now as you can see, the window here are all equal because we're talking about somebody who's already mature, but we're trying to figure out how to develop these certain areas that we are not actually familiar with. Next is the blind area. Now the blind area, this is what others think of me that I am not aware. Let's say, for example, the best example for this one is like when somebody's mimicking you and you're not aware that you're doing such impression or expression, like probably like me. Behind me, somebody would say that I'm strict, or somebody would say I'm unfair, or somebody would say I'm siding on to my friends. So those are the things that others would assume that I obtain as a personal trait because that's what they see in me. So I think this area, the blind area, most probably is manipulated on how other people sees me from my action, because if you will be more sensitive enough, most of the time a person would act on something that has a double meaning. And there are certain people that do that because probably the circle that the person is involved to doesn't actually tell him off on a spot right then and there. So we have area number 3, which is the hidden area. This is the area where I am the only one who's aware. And most probably there are some instances where I feel shy to show from others. Let's say, for example, my talent is to draw, and I feel awkward showing it to others because I feel that whenever I draw, I see it that it's not nice. When in fact, some of my relatives would say that I do good in drawing, as an example. The last is the unknown area. So in the unknown area, these are the traits that I am bound to explore or develop, because no one knows about it. So it's either it's in my prerogative that I develop this one, or probably have some reasons like I'm too old to be a model, I'm too short to be a model, I'm too old to study further because I already have a family. So those are the things that we feel are lesser important at this time, or most probably those are one of your dreams that you find, well, not possible to pursue on certain extent of reasons, most probably. So that's the Johari window. Now, how is it related to my topic now? My topic now is about how you value a friendship when you had an argument with your considered best friend, whom you have shared your secret, whom you have shared your secrets to, or somebody who would betray you. For instance, gossiping the things that you have told her, or telling other people that, just because we are having this argument and I hated her, I'll get even with her. I'll find somebody who will like me better because, this person said something against you and she doesn't used to like you, and don't trust her, those things. So it comes to a point where the friendship turns out to be a betrayal. Now, how would you value the friendship there? I believe that it could go to that extent when both of you are not swallowing your pride. It's like you're considering the friendship, but then you're trying to accuse the other person that you have been betrayed. I think it takes a lot of courage for you to ask that person if you value the friendship, um, about something that could reconnect your broken friendship. I mean, friendship is vague. It goes down to different levels, and I wouldn't say that you're being betrayed. Most probably, it's because um, things went out of control when none of you, none from both of you, or none from either side would try to give up. Because if both of you will keep on pointing out that, no, you betrayed me, no, it's just because you did this, no, but then because you did this, no, but remember you did this. If both of you will keep on doing that, I think in the first place there wouldn't be any value of friendship at all. Having a relationship with a friend doesn't have to be measured on how long you have known each other, but I believe on how many times you have argued and you have reconciled. Life is a bit of a complex, and it takes a wider mind to crack down the codes on how to better handle a person. Like on my personal opinion and experience, I have gone through a lot of rough times, but that doesn't mean that I should be this ugly person who forgot to comb my hair or forgot to put on my makeup or everything. Um, like my personality, I tend to balance things. When I get home, I could feel the burden of my problems, but then the time I get out of my room, I have to not pretend, but I have to help myself strengthen um, the positive side that is left in me. Going back to the value of relationship, you have to have the reason, the core reason on why you're still being bothered, um, questioning a lot of things. Then at the end of the day, you tend to blame one another and not think about positive things that you have gone through. When it's done, it's done. But remember, at the end of the day, we're still human, and that we have to admit the fact that the person that most of the time we hated the most is the last person that I believe will end the day with us. I mean, you could say that, oh, if you're the last person, then I'd rather die. I mean, that's ironic, but in reality, imagine yourself like I'm in the Middle East. If every day you keep on blaming somebody, one day it'll happen, and knock on wood, I hope it wouldn't. But I'm in a country where anything could happen at any time. We could have a great war. We could have nuclear weapon aimed at us. We could have um, the greatest calamity that Middle East would not be expecting, since it has been like how many times it hailed. Sandstorm is a normal thing here, but it hailed, it flooded on some areas in Saudi Arabia. So who would know what would happen? We don't know. So at the end of the day, if things get rough and if the impossible things happen, you will soon realize, because we're only human, most probably you will tend to forget those things. So, having said that, if you feel that you are betrayed, try to make a reflection if the friendship is still um, worth saving for, because um, having somebody to be with you, or you have known this person for a long, long time, it's almost the same as um, being married with. It's just that the difference is that being married to the opposite sex or probably with the same sex, there is a written commitment. But on friendship, commonly, it is um, the commitment of yourself and your conscience, I believe. Because no matter how ugly the person treated you, it depends on how you value your friendship. It's not a matter of ask. It's not a matter of you asking if there's anything to value about on that friendship, but it's a matter of asking yourself if you really consider that person worth being friends with. Because, in my opinion, I think other people would suggest, or other people would just accuse, other people would just judge you, but who cares? I mean, these other people or those other people are not the one who's going to be dealing with your heartaches. They are not the one who's going to be dealing with your own happiness, and they are not the one who knows the person that you're considering or you're telling being the person that you're telling that she's saying secrets against you or spreading things and stories against you or taking back the past, bringing out the past, bringing it out during your arguments and everything. It happens. I think the core um, way to improve what you have if you still value that friendship is the communication. Um, Most probably, I think it's the what's worth fighting is when you argue and you shout at each other and stand up and become more mature to interpret if the relationship that you have for that person is still worth saving for, because you cannot change the other person. It's up to you if you're willing to love that person, if you're willing to stay with that person, because you can never change that person. Neither does that person could change you. Nobody could change us. Nobody could change me. It's my own decision. It's your own decision. So the question I think would be is like how you value that friendship. It's not actually looking for where the value of that friendship is, but how you value. Because you could value a 1 real bill, and I could value let's say 100 real bill. So saying that we value things in a different way. So I think it's personalized. It's up to you if you value that friendship, because nobody in this world could ever have the right to judge you because you're the only one who became. I could say hate that person or I could say love that person, but I think it will all boil down on how you would accept that person, how deep your respect and your trust and your love for that person, even if that person have betrayed you. Um, Most of us would have religions, but although I hate to insert this because I don't want to be labeled as somebody who's preaching, but like I'm a Catholic. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not saying that this is the religion that you have to join to, but like in any other religion, as for my respect, all of us believes on um, the powerful force above us. So if you believe that the powerful force above us sacrificed a lot of things. I mean, who are we who wouldn't sacrifice? And I believe that would wrap up my video for tonight, and thank you for watching. You can share your thoughts on the comments down below, and you can either hit like or dislike, but please make sure that you are subscribed, and please try to check on my other social media accounts, and it'll be better if you like and subscribe, because in my channel, you know the drill. You learn nonsense to useful things that you can apply on your daily life. So thank you for watching, and bye. Before anything else, I'm sorry I didn't have Leza Bear because he wanted to sleep ahead of me. So bye bye now. Thanks.